Good morning, children. So, in our new lesson is metals and non-metals. Okay. So, in this lesson, we are going to study which kind of substances are known as metals and which substances are known as non-metals. That means, what are the properties of metals, what are the properties of non-metals, and what are the physical properties and chemical properties. Let's see in this lesson. Okay. First, let's see what are the properties of metals. Metals are lustrous, sonorous, ductile, and are good conductor of heat and electricity. So, substances which are lustrous means shining property. Sonorous means when they are hit with or when they are hidden, not heat. Okay, hit. That means when we hit them, it will produce ringing sound. Next, they are ductile. That means they can be drawn into wires. And they are good conductors of heat and electricity. Such kind of substances are known as metals. Then coming to non-metals, properties of non-metals is that is non-metals are non-lustrous. That means there is no shining. Non-sonorous, they will not produce any ringing sound. Non-ductile, and are bad conductors of heat and electricity. That means it's just opposite to the properties of metals. Now let's see physical properties. What are the physical properties of metals and non-metals is? Physical property, it is malleability. Metals, they are malleable. That means they can be drawn into thin sheets. But coming to non-metals are not malleable. Coming to next property, conductivity. Conductivity is the second property, conductivity. Metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Non-metals are bad conductors of heat and electricity. Next property is ductility. Metals are ductile, that means they can be drawn into thin wires. Non-metals are non-ductile. Sonorous. Next property is sonorous. Metals are sonorous, that is they produce typical metallic sound when it hit with something. Non-metals are not sonorous. Next property is lustrous. Metals are lustrous, that means metals have metallic shine called luster. Non-metals are usually dull. So next one is physical state. What is the physical state? Most of the non-metals are available as solids at room temperature, except one exception is there, that is mercury is at room temperature, it is liquid. Okay, sodium and potassium are soft, it can be cut with the knife. Here sodium and potassium are metals. Okay, generally metals are hard, but coming to this sodium and potassium exception, they are soft, that they can be cut with the knife. Non-metals are available in all three states of metal. Okay, so what are the exceptions is mercury. Normally non-metals, all the non-metals are solids at room temperature, but coming to mercury is non-metal and mercury is liquid at room temperature. Okay, next, generally metals are hard. Okay, but exception is sodium and potassium. Sodium and potassium are soft. How much soft means they can be cut with the knife. Okay, and non-metals are available in all the three states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gas. These are the three states of the matter, and non-metals are available in all the three states of the matter. These are the physical properties. Now coming to chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So what are the chemical properties of metals and non-metals is? So when they react with oxygen, how they behave. Metals react with oxygen to form metallic oxides. These metallic oxides are basic in nature. Okay, now I will take metal. Okay, I am taking as ferrous. Ferrous means it's iron. Okay, iron, when it reacts with oxygen and in the presence of water, it produces ferrous oxide, Fe2O3, rust. We all know that rust. Okay, so Iron reacts with oxygen and moisture to form iron dioxide. Iron dioxide is brown in color. Okay, what is the color of the rust? Means the color of rust is brown. Okay, so equation is Fe plus O2 plus H2. Okay, here H2 also needed moisture, gives Fe2O3 iron dioxide, that is rust. Next, one more example is magnesium reacts with oxygen. When it is burnt in the air, it produces white color substance known as, it produces ash with magnesium oxide. Reaction is Mg plus O2. O2 what? O2 is oxygen. Magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide. Here one more example is there, that is when copper is exposed to moist air for a long time, it acquires a greenish coating because of formation of copper hydroxide and copper carbonate. The green coat is a mixture of copper hydroxide and copper carbonate. Okay, so this both copper hydroxide and copper carbonate, both of them will be mixed and will form greenish color coating. Okay, so it can be represented in the equation as follows, that is Cu plus H2O water. Cu is copper. Okay, Cu plus H2O, CO2 is carbon dioxide, O2 is oxygen. Okay, so these two are non-metals. Okay, here not non-metal. We are not talking about that. Here, when these metals are reacting with oxygen, what it forms? Copper, when it is added to water and carbon dioxide and oxygen, it forms copper hydroxide CuOH twice plus copper carbonate CuCO3, and the mixture color is green color rust. So till now it's about metals. Now see non-metals. Non-metals also react with oxygen to make oxides. Oxides of non-metals are acidic in nature, but oxides of metals are basic in nature. Oxides of non-metals are acidic in nature. Now example of this is sulfur reacts with oxygen. When it is burnt, it forms sulfur dioxide. S is sulfur plus O2. O2 is oxygen. S plus O2 gives SO2. When sulfur dioxide is dissolved in water, it forms sulfurous acid. So the form SO2, when it is added to water, it forms H2SO3. H2SO3 is sulfurous acid. Okay, don't confuse. H2SO4 is sulfuric acid. Okay, sulfuric acid, and H2SO3 is sulfurous acid. And the form sulfurous acid nature is acidic. Next, reaction with water. Some metals react vigorously with water, while some other do not react at all with water. That means some of the metals, they react with water. At the same time, some of them, they do not react with water. Example is sodium is highly reactive metal and it reacts vigorously with water. That is the reason why sodium is stored in kerosene. Okay, where sodium is stored means sodium is stored in kerosene but not in the water. What is the reason? Means sodium reacts vigorously with water and it produces high amount of heat. Okay, during this reaction sodium catches fire because of too much heat being evolved. Due to this, sodium is stored in kerosene to prevent accidental fire. Okay, now we understood now why this sodium is stored in kerosene. Means sodium, it vigorously reacts with, that means it reacts fastly, it reacts vigorously reacts with water and it produces a lot of heat. The produced heat catches fire easily. During this reaction, sodium will become so hot and this hot is evolved. Due to this reason, sodium is stored in kerosene to prevent accidental fire. Our next example is iron reacts slowly with water. In the before example we saw sodium reacting with water, but now in this example we will see that iron reacts slowly with water. We know that copper does not react with water but reacts with steam. Silver and gold do not react with water at any temperature. This all is example for saying that non-metals will not, that means not saying that all the non-metals will not react with water or will react with water. It is not saying that some of the non-metals, some of the metals will react with water, some of the metals will not react with the water. Usually non-metals do not react with water, but some non-metals react vigorously with air, okay, not with water, with air. Such non-metals are stored in water to prevent their reaction with air. So example is, that is, we know that sodium is stored in kerosene, but here phosphorus is stored in water to prevent its reaction with the air. Okay, sodium is stored in kerosene, phosphorus is stored in water to prevent it reacting with the air. Now coming to reaction with acids, how these metals and non-metals react with acids. Metals generally react with acids and produce hydrogen gas. Conformation of hydrogen gas is done by bringing a burning matchstick or a burning candle near the gas. When the burning matchstick or candle burns with a pop-up sound, it confirms the evolution of hydrogen gas. So how can we confirm that hydrogen gas is produced? Means when we bring the burning matchstick near the produced gas, if the flame is put off with making a pop-up sound, we can say that the produced gas is hydrogen. Okay, so metals, when they react with acids, they produce hydrogen gas. So metal plus acid, it produces salt and hydrogen. Okay, copper does not react with even concentrated hydrochloric acid. However, copper reacts with sulfuric acid. Non-metals generally do not react with acids. So metals, they are reacting. Okay, some are reacting and some are not reacting. But coming to non-metals, we can say that directly non-metals, they will not react with acids. Reaction with bases. Metals react with sodium hydroxide to produce hydrogen gas. Metal plus sodium hydroxide gives hydrogen gas. Non-metals react with sodium hydroxide is complex. Okay, like before we told, metals, when they react with sodium hydroxide, they produces hydrogen gas. Like this we cannot say in case of non-metals, because here the reaction is complex. Our next type of reactions is displacement reactions. So what is displacement reactions is, when a metal displaces another metal from a compound, this is called displacement reaction. In this reaction, a more reactive metal, so in displacement reaction, a more reactive metal displaces a less reactive metal from its compound. Okay, now let's see reactivity series. What is the reactivity series? Metals can be arranged in chronological order on the basis of their reactivity. Such an arrangement of metals is called reactivity series of metals. So coming to this, sodium and potassium are at the top of the reactivity series because they will easily react with water and air. They can easily react with water. That means sodium can easily react with water and potassium can easily react with the air. In this series, gold and silver are at the bottom because they will not react. They are mostly non-reactive metals. Then examples is zinc. When zinc granules are kept in copper sulfate solution, the blue color of the copper sulfate disappears and the solution becomes colorless, because see, copper sulfate solution color is blue color. Okay, so when this zinc granules are kept in this copper sulfate solution, the blue color of copper sulfate disappears and the solution becomes colorless. What is the reason is, zinc is more reactive than the copper, so zinc displaces the copper and it forms the salt. So its equation can be written as CuSO4 plus Zn. Zn is zinc, CuSO4 is copper sulfate. Copper sulfate plus zinc gives zinc sulfate. Zinc sulfate plus copper, ZnSO4 is zinc sulfate and Cu is copper. But when copper turnings are kept in the zinc sulfate solution, no reaction takes place. What is the reason is, see, zinc is more reactive than the copper. So zinc is displacing copper. In opposite, you see, when we place copper turnings in the zinc sulfate solution, copper is less reactive, zinc is more reactive. So less reactive atom or less reactive molecule cannot displace more reactive molecule. That means copper cannot displace zinc. That's why no reaction will take place. Another example is when iron nails are kept in copper sulfate solution, the blue color of copper sulfate disappears and the solution becomes green. It is because iron is more reactive than the copper. When copper is placed in the iron sulfate solution, no reaction will take place because copper is less reactive than the iron, and the equation can be written as, that means what is the equation for copper iron displacing the copper sulfate CuSO4 plus Fe iron gives FeSO4 iron sulfate plus Cu copper. But when copper turnings are kept in iron sulfate solution, no reaction takes place, like before I told, because copper is less reactive than the iron. A less reactive atom cannot displace the highly reactive atom. Highly reactive atom can displace less reactive atom. And uses of metals. What are the uses of metals is, metals are used for making machines and tools. Iron is used for making ships, bridges, railway lines, etc. Copper is used for making electric wires. Aluminium is used for making utensils. Gold and silver are used for making ornaments. These are the uses of metals. Now coming to uses of non-metals. What are the uses of non-metals is, oxygen is used by all living beings for respiration. Oxygen is non-metal. Carbon dioxide is used by plants for photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide is non-metal. Chlorine is used for water purification. Chlorine is non-metal. Iodine solution is used as antiseptic and applied on wounds. Iodine solution. Iodine is non-metal. Coal is an important fuel which is purest form of carbon. These are the uses of non-metals. And completion of our lesson, materials, metals and non-metals. Okay, so let's see in our next lesson.